let's go ahead and make sure that the anti-spam engine does not scan a certain domain, which is at cisco.com in this case, right? You might want to skip the spam check for any other domain that you want. In this example, I'm going to take cisco.com. So what I can do is I can create a message filter to do that. I'll say new, and I'll say skip spam check. I'll name it like that, and I can keep whatever condition I want. And the most, I mean, this looks relevant, right? If mail from contains at cisco.com, and if the envelope, I mean, the address ends with that, right? Then go ahead. I can actually add more conditions like if sender group equals to so and so, I can do that here. Or if, the IP from which we're receiving it is so and so. Well, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, so you can do skip spam check. That's it. All right. So once I do this, I'm going to go ahead and put a dot here, hit enter. It should say when filters added. So what am I doing? I'm checking, hey, if the mail from the envelope, uh, it contains the address that ends with the string at cisco.com, right? Then go ahead and skip the spam check for it. So in the vert queue, the very first thing that happens is it goes through, the email has to go through the anti-spam engine. Well, in this case, it's not going to happen for cisco.com. That's what we did, right? We're skipping spam check. And if we want to do the same for, if we don't want virus check for this domain as well, we can do that. We can skip other engines as well, right? And do not forget to commit. And once you commit, just mention created or configured a message filter to skip spam check for Cisco.com. That's it. You're done. Now, there's another way of skipping, spam or any other engine for a certain domain, and we can do that from the GUI, incoming mail policies. Let me just show you that real quick. Okay, let me just log into my box real quick. Let's say son, and say password. I hit enter and it's doing its stuff, logging me in right now. Incoming mail policies. I'm at the correct place. I'm going to say cluster and okay, I'm going to add a new policy. That's what I'm going to do, right? The option that you see right here. Okay, you're going to say add a new policy. Let me just show you what happens after that. I click add policy and we're going to do the same thing for cisco.com this time, right? Skip spam check, let's say cisco.com, something like that, right? And we're going to place it at number 1 and say add a user. And once I click on add user, I can mention following senders. And as you can see, it says user at example.com, user at, or example.com. And this is the one we're going to use. We're going to say at cisco.com. That's it. We did the same thing from the CLI as well for message filters, but this is a different concept, right? So, okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and say any recipient. So just to give you a quick check here, following senders, this is correct. That's it, right? So after that, you just go ahead and click on OK, and you should be good. So I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. And once I do that, okay, now we're looking good. What do we see here? We see this is the name, right? And we're placing it at number 1. And we did add a user, which was cisco.com. We added the sender, cisco.com, and we're saying for any recipient, right? All we need to do is just click on the submit button now. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Submit. How do we skip spam check for cisco.com, which you see right here, right? All we need to do is right now, well, it's actually using use default, right? Under anti-spam here, you see use default. And what is the default? The default is this, right? As you can see under default policy, which is this. So I don't want to use that. I want to skip the spam check for this. So I click on this use default and I say disabled. All right, this option right here, disabled. I click that and I click on submit. I click on submit. You're going to see that it shows up as disabled now, right? If I was to just do right here, anti-spam disabled. Before this, it was like this: use default, use default, use default, whatever. So I have disabled anti-spam check for Cisco.com in this way. And I can do the same for antivirus, AMP, gray mail without affecting any of the other incoming mail policies. I'm just going to go ahead and make these changes on Cisco.com. It's not going to affect anything else, right? We should be good. That's it. Once you're done with all of this, just make sure that you go ahead and commit the changes. The option you see on the right hand corner right here, right? Just go ahead and commit the changes. Click on this, commit changes, as you can see right here. That's it. Once you do that, mention the comments and you should be good. All right, I hope this was useful. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and like the video, share it as well, so that you're able to help others as well. Thank you. You have a great day ahead. Goodbye.